Hey guys, Mike with Jeeps on the Run. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about the Chicago Auto Show and why Jeep pulled out. So as you know, the Chicago Auto Show has been going on for, maybe you don't know, for over 116 years. It is the nation's largest auto show, and people travel from all over the world to come to the Chicago Auto Show. So why would Jeep pull out of such an amazing opportunity? Well, we have this conversation. I just want to start off by, this is not a bashing video towards Jeep or Stellantis, and it's certainly not a bashing video towards the Chicago Auto Show. Let's have a conversation, and I'd love your comments as far as what you think is going on in the automotive world we live in right now. So last year at the Chicago Auto Show, Jeep gave its 3 millionth ride at Camp Jeep. 3 million rides. Think of all the butts in the seats of Jeep. So the first question becomes, is Jeep pulling out of all auto shows? Are they pulling out of just auto shows? Are they pulling out of their other shows, such as Camp Jeep and the other sponsored shows that happen throughout the country? You see conflicting information, and you also have to remember you're seeing a spin on what the media wants to title this as. You can read the headline: Jeep sales plummet, Jeep pulls out of Chicago Auto Show. So you have to read through a filter with what the media is putting in front of you. But it would be interesting to know, and it's not clear, are they just pulling out of auto shows, or are they pulling out of all shows? So let's rewind back to SEMA. Writing was on the wall. Sellantis, Dodge, they all pulled out of SEMA. If you're not familiar with SEMA, it is a show in Vegas for aftermarket equipment. Having said that, so a lot of the manufacturers do show up, and Dodge and Sellantis and Jeep have done a great job with their displays at SEMA. One of my main reasons I go to SEMA is because of Stellantis's presence there. This year, they pulled out of SEMA. Also, you remember we had the UAW. The United Auto Workers strike was taking place around that time too. So not a huge shock that it didn't show up to SEMA. Fast forward to other auto shows that are happening in 2023, and Stellantis pulled out of them. Again, word on the street is they pulled out of those due to budgeting and due to staffing and everything that was happening because of the UAW. So did they pull out of those auto shows for that reason? So did they pull out of the Chicago Auto Show to be fair to all of their kids, if you will, right? So did they pull out of Chicago because they didn't go to the other auto shows? Possibly. At the end of the day, we won't know exactly why they pulled out of the Chicago Auto Show. I've seen comments such as, well, the dealers should know. One thing I want to remind you is that, believe it or not, there's probably more information on the internet available to us that gets leaked out before a dealer. And we as a consumer probably know more before the dealers do. So there's not a huge communication line between the dealerships and the manufacturer when it comes to these specific details about the auto show. And that's not just Stellantis. I would imagine that is based on all the manufacturers. So if you're reading the media and you're watching all of these posts from all the auto news, you got ABC, NBC, auto blogs, Car and Driver. I mean, everyone out there has put some sort of announcement out about Stellantis. And I'm going to literally read this because here's one that I find interesting. To be as efficient as possible, our media spend, we are evaluating participation in auto shows on a case-by-case basis, while prioritizing opportunities for consumer experience of our vehicles firsthand. That was said by ABC7, so I'm not sure who the source was. But think about that. Opportunities for consumers to experience our vehicles firsthand. Jeep, are you listening? You gave your 3 millionth ride at the Chicago Auto Show last year in 2023. Think about the buyers, and think about the people who have maybe never ridden in a Jeep and took that ride on Camp Jeep. I can guarantee you there's a high percentage of them that came off that ride and turned into buyers. The other thing I can guarantee you is there's a high percentage of Jeep owners that never took their vehicle off-road or really don't know the capability of the vehicle that came off that Camp Jeep ride more impressed and more excited about the brand they already own. Your Jeep enthusiasts, your Jeep customers are disappointed that you're not there. It is an absolute highlight of the Chicago Auto Show. Is it the only draw to the Chicago Auto Show? Absolutely not. Is it a huge draw for your customers? Absolutely. And keep in mind, you have customers, you have media, you have people that are paying to come to the Chicago Auto Show to be sold your product. And that's from the Chrysler line, the Dodge line. How about your Dodge enthusiasts? They want to see that next vehicle. They want to see what's coming out. The Ram Revolution that was released, the Dodge EV that you guys put out. The Chicago Auto Show is often a great place that a new vehicle is revealed. They revealed the 20th anniversary Rubicon last year. So much great stuff has come out of the Chicago Auto Show. And just to pull the carpet out from underneath of all of your fans and enthusiasts, we're disappointed. And if you're listening, we hope you come back. We hope you do, because us as Jeep enthusiasts look forward to it. And more importantly, those who don't already own your brand, I guarantee you, turn into buyers after the Chicago Auto Show. So why is the Chicago Auto Show such a big deal? Well, they're going on 116 years. I mean, my grandparents went to the Chicago Auto Show. I remember going to the Chicago Auto Show with past generations, and my son will probably do the same with his family. The Chicago Auto Show has become just such a part of the culture, especially in the automotive world. The Chicago Auto Show does a great job. It is one of the largest auto shows in the nation. People come from all over the world and the United States to see the Chicago Auto Show. So if you were to pick one show to miss, this wasn't it. I also feel that Jeep says we're treating all of our shows fairly. That's why we didn't come to the Chicago Auto Show, because we didn't go to the other auto shows. Well, you could have easily made a case, hey, the Chicago Auto Show is the biggest one. It would have been Jeep's 20th anniversary for Camp Jeep at the Chicago Auto Show. That's a big milestone, 20th anniversary for Camp Jeep at the Chicago Auto Show. They missed it. So as you know, Jeeps on the Run and my crew, we had a booth at the Chicago Auto Show last year, and the camaraderie we had between the brand and our group, which really wrapped the arms around the lifestyle of the brand. People would come off the Chicago Auto Show Camp Jeep ride and walk right to our booth. They could see our group of people. They could see it was a lifestyle. It was, at this point, it's more than just a vehicle you own. It's into a lifestyle. And the charities we do, and we're telling people what Jeeps on the Run does for the community, they even want to be more involved with this brand, and they see how cool it is. And everyone that comes up to the booth, if they weren't owners, they know someone that owns one and says, oh, I got to get one. This is so cool. So the amount of missed opportunity is absolutely huge. Guys, this is not the fault of the Chicago Auto Show. The Chicago Auto Show begs for all of these manufacturers to come. And the Chicago Auto Show has done an amazing job. The team there has really kicked it out of the park. Let's rewind back to COVID. Most everything was stopped. They were up against all these hurdles and all these restrictions. And what did? They made a pivot, and they did a Chicago Auto Show, which always is in February, and they stuck it in the middle of the summer outside. Fast forward the next year, we're still during COVID. We have manufacturers that pulled out, delays and all these shortages, so manufacturers didn't have cars to bring to the auto show. The auto show still happens. They still push through. We need to support the Chicago Auto Show, and we need to let the manufacturers know that we want them at the Chicago Auto Show. By saying, I'm not gonna go to the Chicago Auto Show because Sellantis isn't there, that doesn't help support the Chicago Auto Show, and that certainly doesn't help to bring them back. Who you need to be reaching out to is the manufacturer. Tag them on Facebook, tag them in their social media feeds. Let them know we want them back. Let them know they should be there. Let them know. And thank the Chicago Auto Show for their hard work and what they do to present these manufacturers all in one place for us to view. So the other comment I see is the dealers should all just make an auto show. The dealers should pick up the slack. It's a bad idea. And here's why. For one, let's say you want to compare a Wagoneer to an Escalade. So now if the dealership has a auto show style, you're going to go to the Jeep dealership and look at that Wagoneer, and now you got to go to a Cadillac dealership and compare it to the Escalade versus just walking a few hundred feet apart. You're not going to get that same experience, that same side by side, that same feel. You're not going to get that. And for two, who's going to be responsible for the costs of this show now? Now it's going to fall on the dealers. I think the manufacturers still need to remain responsible for helping promote their brand and helping support their dealerships. There's a lot of Jeep owners in Chicagoland. We're proud. The Chicagoland market is a big market for Jeep. So for them to pull out and lean, and I'm not saying that Jeep is doing this or suggesting this, I'm saying the public is is suggesting that the dealers should do this. That's asking a lot of your dealership to now pick up the marketing side that really, in my opinion, Jeep should be handling. So this year again, huge thanks to Chicago Auto Show. Jeeps on the Run will be present. We'll actually be the only Jeep vehicles in the Chicago Auto Show. Jeep, if you're watching, we're still proud to support the brand. We're still glad to be there. I'm super thankful that the auto show has still invited us back, even though the manufacturer is not there. We will have a nice display of Jeeps all the way from the 40s to current. So I encourage you to still come check out the Chicago Auto Show. Check out Jeeps on the Run. We'll be there for the First Look event. If you're not familiar with what the First Look is, look it up. It's awesome. I'll post a link above. Huge portion of the ticket goes to charity of your choice, drinks, hors d'oeuvres, and it's just a great night. You and your spouse, your significant other, get dressed up and get a first look at all these vehicles. It's an absolute blast. Support charity at the same time. So highly recommend that. That's always the Friday before the auto show kicks off. We'll be there as well. I guess to summarize this, we as consumers probably don't know the real reason. Some will say that Jeep pulled out of the Chicago Auto Show because, oh, the Jeep sales they're just tanked and they can't sell the product. No, that's not true. Is Jeep sales slow right now a little bit for the most part? Yeah, I think that's a fair statement. I think it's also fair to say that the car industry as a whole is in a weird market right now. So I can't think you necessarily point fingers directly at Jeep. Jeep isn't going anywhere. That brand, that name is going to live on forever. As consumers, none of us will probably really know the ultimate reason as to why Jeep pulled out of the auto show this year. We can all speculate, read all these newspaper articles. They all have a different spin on it. But at the end of the day, I think the key here is the key takeaway, the summary that I'd love to get out there is, I know there's comments about the astronomical prices to get into the show. Let's be realistic. 3 million rides again. Even if the show was a couple $100,000, and I have no idea how much it is, I truly don't. That would pay for itself in just the exposure they get from the Chicago Auto Show. I actually think the negative exposure that we've gotten over the past few days, it looks bad. And whether what's true or not true, we don't know. So they say no publicity is bad publicity. I don't know. I've gotten personal messages from friends saying, "Is Jeep in trouble?" I mean, that's what people are thinking, you know. So at the end of the day, we need to support Chicago Auto Show. Let's keep the show going and tell these manufacturers we want them back. We want them to be there. You know Ford is going to be there, and they're going to up their game, rightfully so. If I was a competitive dealer or competitive manufacturer, I would take full advantage of this situation. Jeep, if you're listening, we're disappointed. As owners, we always look forward to it. And again, as those potential owners, I think you're really missing out on what you could capture at the Chicago Auto Show and what you have captured at the Chicago Auto Show. You're nothing besides positive, positive, positive. Camp Jeep and the team behind them, those guys do just a bang up job. So if you're looking to see some Jeeps, we're gonna have some cool ones from 1940s all the way to 2024. Come see us at the McCormick Place. And always, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and comment below. What is your thoughts about Jeep pulling out of the Chicago Auto Show?